Coach, safely back from the Bahamas. What did you learn about your team?
Spirited group. Thought we grew up some. I thought with a quick turnaround, I thought our guys made some really good adjustments. I think we see how much more work we got to do before we become a really good basketball team. Found out a few more things about our depth as far as giving guys opportunity to play, and it was a very good trip for us. I thought it was good for bonding for this team. Normally we try to do something at the beginning of the year before the season starts, and this year we chose not to do it because we knew how long this time would be for this Bahama trip, and I thought it really helped us.
Well, if you learned one thing about your team as well, is just that both games that you won, you were down, came back, and there were one possession games in the end. You gotta love that they had that kind of test.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, I think we got a chance to look at the do's and the don'ts as far as closing out games. I thought the first game we played this year against TCU, we put ourselves in a position on the road to win. And I didn't think we played with the same kind of confidence in that game that we did the last two games. And I think some of it has to do with the experience we went through with TCU. But I also thought just even the game the night before was a close game till the end with Central Michigan, and we just had some defensive breakdowns at the wrong time and didn't score enough. The last two games, I just thought they first of all, they didn't want to lose, but I thought again they made plays, and that's what I challenged them with after the Central Michigan game. You know, that we've got to make plays in key situations, and we've got to have certain guys, the five guys, whatever five that are on the floor, they've got to come together and really try to finish games for us. And I thought the last two nights we were there, I thought we played with that kind of togetherness and that cohesiveness and that kind of defense that we needed to play with. But offensively, we made shots also, but we made plays on the defensive end when it really counted.
What's your biggest concern at this point?
I mean, obviously we'll get to work tonight, this afternoon, and kind of see where we are. Just a consistency. We still got some guys having to go through the roster a little bit too deep at times than I want to. Concern is just guys that are starting, getting a lot of minutes, just being consistent in their play. And, hopefully, after this week and go back and look at film and what we did right and wrong, that we could start having those guys, night in, night out, play really well.
Jarkel's got 13 rebounds the last two games with 8 and 5. Is that an anomaly, or is that something you want to see added to his repertoire?
I just challenge our guys to play both ends of the floor. It's not by design. I just think, to be a really good basketball player, and that's what he wants to be. It's not about scoring all the time. It's not about, making great passes all the time. It's not about playing defense. Just to be a complete player. And I've challenged several of our guys to step up. And, during the tournament, he did. But I think that comes from watching the first game. He stood and watched when he had opportunities to get the defensive rebound, especially. And even a couple of times when we had guys driving to the basket, he would be on the backside. He never would come to the glass. And I just think it's a learning process, and we're still growing. And, Greg asked a question about, concerns of mine, and I talked about from a strategy standpoint, but also just that we got to get better. I mean, and we know that, and I think we can do that, but just making that and working through that, seeing that process through is something we really got to hone in, because we're better than what we were a week ago, but we're not nearly as good as I would like for us to be.
And Greg Lee mentioned this summer, you know, he stopped eating at certain fast food places,
Yeah.
kind of rededicated himself to the weight room. Is there a physical difference that you can see in him at this point this year?
Oh, no
compared to
doubt.
last year?
I mean, it's no question about that. He is so much stronger. He's so much better in condition. He's caring about his body and concerned about his play more than anything. It's just been, again, not something I'm surprised with because I just saw him going through the process, starting back last March and then just watching him get better. And as we watched film, some of us on our way back last night. Greg has a great upside to him. He has good size. He can shoot the basketball. He's a good ball handler for his size, and he's now just starting to commit himself on the defensive end. And it's kind of like what I just said about Jarkel. Like I told him, to have the success we want to have, we got to have more two-way players. And what I mean by that, guys that can impact the game on both ends of the floor and help us win on both ends of the floor, and not, if you don't have a good offensive night, you're not very good. Or if you don't have a good defensive night, you don't play a big role. And again, I'm thankful for this team because they are a team that, they listen. They try to get it right, even sometimes we don't. But they want to do right. They want to win. The hunger I talked about over the summer and in the preseason, it's there. We just got to continue to move forward. You don't want anybody, players, anyone to get satisfied because we won 2 games in a row, which both of them was close. But we felt like we got to let the first game, get away from us. Central Michigan deserved to win the game because they played the way they played, and we couldn't get them into our style. And but that was, again, we have to fault ourselves for getting caught in a game and not being able to control the game, and that's what we like to do.
Offensively, I mean, you had some guys with key shots down the stretch in both of your wins, but it had some droughts as well. So how would you define your offense right now?
Well, it's good, not great. We're not hitting on all cylinders. We're still figuring some stuff out. We're still figuring out different ways that we can score. We haven't found a rhythm right now just because of different things. We don't have a 6'8", 6'10" guy that really is a true post player that we could just throw the ball to. So how are we going to get the ball to the basket, or how are we going to get inside buckets? We don't feel like we're anywhere close fine-tuned with our break. And sometimes that bogs down because guys are just not used to it. I think the last 2 games, we probably saw more layups, guys getting from one end to the other than we did the first game or than we did against TCU. So, it's good because, as you just said, there's times when we're really good offensively, but there's times that we're not so good, and just trying to figure out that in between. And I think we started to figure that out some. Obviously, we hadn't had time to just really, break it down to our guys, but I thought we improved on that, as we played last week. But we got a long ways to go, and that's one of the areas that I think we need to improve on, is to be more consistent in our offense and with our defense, but mostly with our offense, because this team here is really at this point, which hopefully as we go forward will change. We kind of thrive a little bit more off our offense than the teams that I've had in the past. And, that's not all so bad, but we've got to be able to defend enough to give us those opportunities to get out on a fast break or use our athleticism or our quickness. And when you don't defend well and then you don't score, that's when you have those droughts. And again, I think we're trying to figure that out. I think the guys are starting to figure that out a little bit as we watch film after our first game. They couldn't believe what happened, because we had the lead in the game, and they couldn't believe how we lost the lead and then we lost the game. So I think we learned from it, but we're not there yet.
Given the fact that, again, and you mentioned size and whatnot, it sounds like you got a couple of recruits coming in that will sort of take care of that a little bit. This is a shot in the dark question because I didn't see the games.
Yeah.
Durham, Edler Davis, Jarkel give up some big nights shooting from the outside, especially clutch times. Do you want more inside play? Are you relying for your own taste too much on the perimeter game?
No, we had some opportunities, and as you said, there was times that we went outside, and some of those shots came as a result of the ball being kicked out. I do think we got to establish ourselves a little bit more. Darren Pershing showed some flashes. Greg Lee showed some flashes. And then we even posted Tajay Moore, who got us some buckets in the third game. That really helped us out from just because of his size advantage as far as being a perimeter player. And again, that's a little bit more of what we're talking about. We got to be a little bit more consistent with that. I thought even Justin Davis had some opportunities, dropped some balls, got his shot blocked a few times. And that's when we don't need for those things to happen. We run a play, we got it close to the basket, or we got him on a cut, or even if we have him on a post up, just trying to make those right decisions. And again, I think we've gotten better at it, but just the consistency of how we get to where we're trying to get to. And again, that's some of it is the team, just being together. And, I think we have some guys that have played. I thought in the last two games, I thought the group of guys we had on the floor last year, we had them back on the floor together again. And there were some great things happening last night. But the night before, we were really young out there as far as, the experience we had on the court. And, I thought our guys, handled it pretty well. But, we got work to do there. It's just, I don't like, if to answer your question, I'm not satisfied with the amount of points that we're getting at the rim, whether that's through, a bigger guy or guard. Not that I like the shot selection that we're getting, but we're not getting the ball inside enough.
And your thoughts on the challenge lies ahead at SC?
I hadn't even gotten a chance to. I know about their team just because, just some of the guys I've known and research I've done, and some of looking over them during the summer. Over this last week, I was so concerned about our team getting better. I knew we had a chance to go down there to be 3-0, or we could go 0-3. And I think the closeness of the games proved that. And after getting back last night, just really trying to get settled. We have, again, practice this afternoon. I'll start tonight trying to really figure it out. I know they're talented. I know they've got a big front line. I know they've got a player that's projected as possibly being an NBA pick this year. So, again, it's a challenge for us. After looking at their box score, which I just took a glance at, I saw they played 8 players the last game, and they all contributed. And so I would figure, their depth probably would get to 8 or 9 players. So, but I hadn't gotten a good feel or look or see what they're really trying to do yet.
What can you tell us about your 2 signees, and Ronnie Rivas and Greg Somerville?
I love those guys, both of them. Ronnie, first of all, is a really strong, physical, plays extremely hard, very good rebounder, getting better offensively, really good screener. A guy that I really like as far as anchoring the back line because he's naturally just a vocal kid, really high IQ basketball-wise. Has experience because he'll be coming in as a junior college transfer. And then Ray, who I think has the potential to probably grow to be a 7-footer. Probably if you look at his arms and length now, he's probably a guy that could, I guess, whatever kind of measurement they take, could probably be a 7-footer right now. He's a rim protector, shot blocker, rebounder. I just think his once we add some size to him as far as him increasing his strength and his weight, he has a nice looking body already, but has not lifted weights yet. I just think when he gets here and get with our strength coach, Brandon Ziegler, he's going to be something to deal with. And our whole focus during the year, I mean, during the summer, during even last fall, was that, you know, we had to target 2 guys because we knew our roster. Like, we knew our concerns with this team, and knowing that we were trying to get where we can go back to the NCAA tournament. We felt like we've got to add some size, some bulk, some strength. If you look at our team right now, you probably would say one thing that they're missing is, you know, that 6'9" inside power guy, the 6'10" guy that can protect the rim. And that's one thing I thought our guys did the other night. I thought Tajay Moore had some blocks. I thought Justin McCall had some blocks. But we took a lot of charges because you can defend it 2 ways. You can get up over the rim and block shots, or you can stop penetration and take charges. And I think we found out that the comfort of having Motez in the back, he's no longer here. And that's why I told the guy he's not there. So Justin and guys, whether it's Damian, we got to sacrifice in a different way. And I thought those guys stepped up. But man, it's really good. You feel good. Come back home after winning 2 straight games and knowing that you have 2 guys that you targeted with the needs that you found out even more that your team maybe are lacking, that our future is bright. Again, as we close out a few of those games, you know, there was a lot of times we had 4 sophomores and a freshman on the floor. So we felt like if we had these 2 guys, we got a chance to really, you know, really move our program forward. So I was pretty excited this morning when I woke up. I mean, obviously I knew we had signed him, but I had not been back here since we signed him. I felt really good this morning. It seemed like clouds were a little bit clear, and you know, the sun was about bright as it needed to be, and I felt pretty good. So, but we got work. That's not saying anything about this team. I love this team and the chances I think we have this season. But as a coach, you're always playing for the future, and I like our 2 big guys as far as our future players.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your
Okay.
time.
All right.